In a quiet little town nestled in the southern United States, there lived a 14-year-old girl named Maya. She was unlike most of the other kids in her school. Tall and broad-shouldered, Maya had a naturally athletic build that made her stand out in any crowd. Her arms were toned, her legs strong, and her overall physique gave her an appearance that many adults would admire. But for Maya, this trait, something she couldn't control, became the source of endless pain and humiliation. Maya's story began when she entered middle school, a time when kids are already trying to figure out who they are and where they fit in. At first, everything seemed normal. She enjoyed playing basketball during recess and excelling in gym class, activities that came naturally to her because of her physical strength. Her teachers often praised her for her energy and talent on the court. However, as weeks turned into months, Maya started noticing something strange happening around her. Whispers followed her wherever she went. Some students pointed at her arms or laughed quietly when she walked past. The teasing began subtly but grew louder over time. One day, a boy in her math class leaned over to his friend and said loudly enough for everyone to hear, "Look at Maya's muscles. She looks like a dude." The entire room erupted in laughter, leaving Maya red-faced and humiliated. Another girl chimed in, "Yeah, maybe she's secretly taking steroids or something." These comments stung deeply, but Maya tried to brush them off. She told herself it didn't matter what others thought. After all, she knew she wasn't doing anything wrong. Still, the words lingered in her mind long after the bell rang. As the days passed, the bullying escalated. What started as harmless jokes soon turned into cruel taunts. During gym class, some girls refused to partner with her, claiming they didn't want to be embarrassed by losing to someone so manly. Others made snide remarks about her clothes, saying things like, "No wonder you wear baggy shirts, you're probably hiding your biceps." Even outside of school, Maya couldn't escape the ridicule. Social media became another battleground. Someone posted a picture of her flexing during a game, captioned, "Who needs boys when we have Maya?" The post quickly gained traction, racking up likes and hurtful comments from people Maya didn't even know. The constant negativity began to take its toll on Maya. Once confident and outgoing, she now found herself withdrawing from social situations. She stopped participating in class discussions, afraid that speaking up would draw more attention to her. Walking down the hallway felt like navigating a minefield. Every glance, every whisper seemed directed at her. She avoided looking in mirrors, unable to face the reflection of someone she no longer recognized. Her once bright smile faded, replaced by a look of sadness and defeat. At home, Maya kept her struggles hidden from her family. Her parents noticed changes in her behavior. She spent more time alone in her room, barely touched her dinner, and rarely smiled anymore. But whenever they asked if something was wrong, she shook her head and said everything was fine. Inside, however, Maya was drowning. She felt trapped between wanting to defend herself and fearing that standing up for herself would only make things worse. The loneliness consumed her, making each day feel heavier than the last. Despite the growing storm inside her, Maya continued showing up to school every morning. She forced herself to sit through classes, endure gym sessions, and walk the same hallways where the bullies lurked. But one incident pushed her to her breaking point. After a particularly grueling basketball practice, a group of girls cornered her near the locker rooms. They laughed and mocked her, calling her names like Muscle Monster and Hulk Girl. One of them even shoved her playfully, though it wasn't playful at all. It was meant to humiliate her further. Tears welled up in Maya's eyes as she realized how powerless she felt. For the first time, she questioned whether she belonged in this world where people judged her solely based on her appearance. That night, lying awake in bed, Maya replayed the events of the day over and over in her mind. She wondered why she had been born this way. Why did she have to be different? Why couldn't she just blend in like everyone else? Sleep eluded her as waves of frustration and despair washed over her. Yet amidst the turmoil, a tiny spark of defiance flickered within her. Deep down, she knew she deserved better. She deserved to live without fear of judgment or ridicule. That realization planted a seed in her heart, a seed of hope that would eventually grow into something extraordinary. Over the next few weeks, Maya made a conscious decision to focus on what she could control rather than what she couldn't. She threw herself into her studies, determined to excel academically. She also rediscovered her love for reading, finding solace in fictional worlds where characters faced challenges far greater than hers. Books became her escape, offering a temporary reprieve from the harsh reality of her life. Slowly but surely, Maya began to rebuild her confidence, one small step at a time. However, the journey ahead wouldn't be easy. The scars left by the bullying ran deep, and healing would require more than just determination. Maya needed to find a way to embrace her uniqueness instead of seeing it as a flaw. Little did she know, inspiration was closer than she thought, and it would come from the unlikeliest of places. As she stood on the brink of change, Maya had no idea that her story was about to transform in ways she never imagined. But one thing was certain: she was ready to fight back, not with anger, but with courage and resilience. Maya's turning point came one rainy Saturday afternoon when she was scrolling through social media on her phone. Bored and feeling lonely, she stumbled upon a video that stopped her in her tracks. It featured a woman named Serena, a professional bodybuilder who proudly showcased her powerful physique. Serena spoke candidly about the challenges she faced growing up, how people had mocked her for being too muscular or not feminine enough. Yet despite the negativity, Serena refused to let others define her worth. Instead, she embraced her strength and used it to inspire others. For Maya, watching that video felt like opening a door she didn't know existed. Here was someone who looked like her, strong, confident, and unapologetic about her body. Serena wasn't hiding. She was shining. The realization hit Maya hard. Maybe her muscles weren't something to be ashamed of. Maybe they were a gift, a part of her identity that made her unique. Inspired by what she saw, Maya decided to take a bold step. She asked her mom if she could join a local gym near their house. At first, her mother hesitated, worried that lifting weights might attract even more criticism from Maya's peers. But Maya insisted, explaining how much it meant to her. Reluctantly, her mom agreed, hoping it would help her daughter regain some confidence. The gym became Maya's sanctuary. On her first day, she walked in nervously, unsure of what to expect. The trainers welcomed her warmly and quickly put her at ease. One trainer, a kind man named Coach Marcus, took her under his wing. He taught her proper techniques for lifting weights and encouraged her to focus on building strength rather than comparing herself to others. For the first time in months, Maya felt a sense of control over her life. Every rep, every set, was a reminder that her body was capable of incredible things. Lifting weights wasn't just physical, it was mental. With each workout, Maya grew stronger, not only in her muscles, but also in her mind. As weeks turned into months, Maya began to notice changes, not just in her body but in her attitude. She started standing taller, literally and figuratively. Her posture improved, and she carried herself with newfound confidence. Even though the bullying at school hadn't stopped completely, Maya found it easier to ignore the taunts. She reminded herself of Serena's words. "Your strength is your power. Don't let anyone take that away from you." This mantra became her shield against negativity. When classmates called her names, she repeated the phrase silently in her head, letting it drown out their voices. Word eventually spread around school that Maya had started working out seriously. Some students were curious, asking her questions about her routine or wondering how she managed to stay so disciplined. Others remained skeptical, continuing to tease her behind her back. But Maya noticed something interesting happening. Not everyone reacted negatively. A few kids approached her to say they admired her dedication. One boy even admitted he wished he had the same level of commitment to his own goals. These small moments of validation gave Maya hope. Perhaps she wasn't as alone as she thought. One person who truly changed Maya's perspective was Rachel, a shy girl in her science class. Rachel rarely spoke up in school, always keeping to herself. One day, after gym class, Rachel approached Maya hesitantly. "I just wanted to tell you," Rachel said softly, "that I think you're really brave. I don't know if I could handle what you've been through." Maya was taken aback. No one had ever described her as brave before. She thanked Rachel, and the two girls ended up talking for hours. They discovered they had more in common than they realized. Both felt like outsiders in their own ways. From that day forward, Rachel and Maya became inseparable friends, supporting each other through thick and thin. With Rachel by her side, Maya began to see her struggles in a new light. She realized that everyone carries burdens, even if those burdens aren't visible on the surface. Rachel confided in Maya about her own insecurities, how she hated her frizzy hair and avoided looking in mirrors because she thought she was ugly. Hearing this made Maya understand that self-doubt wasn't unique to her. Everyone battles inner demons, and sometimes the bravest thing you can do is keep moving forward despite them. Encouraged by her progress, Maya decided to push herself even further. She signed up for a local fitness competition designed for teenagers. The event included various challenges such as weightlifting, sprinting, and obstacle courses. Competing terrified Maya at first. What if she failed? What if people laughed at her again? But then she remembered why she had started this journey in the first place, to prove to herself that she was stronger than the bully's words. With Coach Marcus's guidance, she trained harder than ever, determined to give it her all. On the day of the competition, Maya arrived at the venue filled with nerves and excitement. As she stepped onto the stage for the first challenge, she scanned the audience and spotted Rachel sitting in the front row cheering loudly. Her parents were there too, holding up a handmade sign that read, "Go Maya." Their support gave her the boost she needed. Throughout the day, Maya tackled each event with grit and determination. Though she didn't win every category, she placed third overall, an incredible achievement for her first competition. The experience transformed Maya in ways she never expected. For the first time, she felt proud of her body, not because of how it looked, but because of what it could do. She realized that strength wasn't just about muscles, it was about resilience, perseverance, and believing in yourself no matter what. When she returned to school the following Monday, something remarkable happened. People treated her differently. Former bullies apologized, admitting they had been jealous of her abilities all along. Teachers praised her for her discipline and courage, while classmates sought her advice on staying fit and motivated. Maya's journey wasn't without its challenges, but she had learned to face them head-on. She knew the road ahead wouldn't always be smooth, but she was ready for whatever came next. By embracing her uniqueness and refusing to let others define her, Maya had turned adversity into triumph. And deep down, she knew this was only the beginning of her story. Maya's newfound confidence began to ripple through every aspect of her life, transforming not just how she saw herself, but also how others perceived her. Her performance at the fitness competition had ignited a spark within her, a desire to push boundaries and challenge stereotypes. She no longer wanted to simply survive middle school. She wanted to thrive. But thriving meant stepping out of her comfort zone in ways she hadn't imagined before. One afternoon, while walking home from school with Rachel, Maya noticed a flyer taped to a lamppost. It advertised tryouts for the high school track and field team, which included events like shot put, discus throw, and long jump. The flyer caught her eye because these events required raw power, something Maya knew she had in abundance. For years, she had avoided sports teams after quitting basketball due to bullying, but now the idea of competing again felt exciting rather than daunting. "Maybe I should go for it," Maya said hesitantly, glancing at Rachel. Her friend smiled, encouragingly. "You'd crush it," Rachel replied without hesitation. "Why not give it a shot?" The thought stayed with Maya all evening. That night, as she lay in bed staring at the ceiling, she weighed the pros and cons. On one hand, joining the team could open doors to new opportunities and help her build connections with teammates who shared her passion for athletics. On the other hand, there was always the risk of facing judgment or ridicule again. What if people still teased her? What if she failed? As these doubts swirled in her mind, Maya reminded herself of how far she'd come. She wasn't the same girl who shrank under criticism anymore. She was stronger, both physically and emotionally, and ready to take risks. The next day, Maya signed up for the tryouts. When she arrived at the field on the designated day, nerves bubbled in her stomach. A group of students milled around, stretching and chatting excitedly. Some glanced curiously at Maya, recognizing her from school but unsure what to make of her presence. One boy smirked and whispered something to his friend, prompting laughter. Maya clenched her fist briefly but quickly shook off the negativity. She focused instead on warming up, determined to let her actions speak louder than words. Coach Thompson, a tall woman with a commanding yet kind demeanor, called everyone to attention. She explained the format of the tryouts. Participants would rotate through various stations, demonstrating their skills in sprinting, jumping, and throwing. Shot put was the first event, and Maya stepped up eagerly. With Coach Marcus's training fresh in her mind, she gripped the heavy metal ball tightly, planted her feet firmly, and hurled it across the field with precision. The sound of the ball hitting the ground echoed loudly, drawing murmurs of surprise from the crowd. Even Coach Thompson raised an eyebrow, impressed by the distance Maya achieved. As the day progressed, Maya continued to impress. Her strength gave her an edge in events like discus throw, where technique combined with power made all the difference. In sprints, she surprised even herself with her speed, finishing close behind the fastest runners. By the end of the tryouts, whispers spread among the students. "Did you see how far she threw that shot put?" one girl asked her friend. Another chimed in, "She's seriously strong, like scary strong." This time, however, the comments carried a tone of admiration rather than mockery. Maya couldn't help but smile to herself as she walked away from the field, feeling a sense of accomplishment wash over her. A week later, the results were posted outside the gymnasium. Maya approached the bulletin board with bated breath, scanning the list until she found her name. She had made the team, not just as a participant, but as a key contender in shot put and discus throw. Relief and pride surged through her veins. For the first time in years, she felt like she belonged somewhere. Belonging wasn't about fitting in or conforming to expectations. It was about being valued for who you truly were. Joining the track and field team marked a turning point for Maya. Practices became a highlight of her week, giving her a chance to focus on her goals and bond with her teammates. At first, some of the girls kept their distance, unsure how to interact with someone so different from them. But Maya didn't let it bother her. Instead, she took the initiative to reach out, offering tips on improving form or cheering them on during drills. Slowly, walls began to crumble. Her teammates started seeing her not as the muscular girl, but as a dedicated athlete who cared deeply about her craft. One teammate, a senior named Jasmine, took Maya under her wing. Jasmine had been on the team for 4 years and was known for her leadership and kindness. During practice, she often paired up with Maya, teaching her advanced techniques and sharing stories about her own struggles with self-doubt. "It's easy to feel like you don't belong sometimes," Jasmine admitted one evening after practice. "But trust me, your uniqueness is your superpower. Don't ever lose sight of that." Jasmine's words resonated deeply with Maya. They reminded her of Serena, the bodybuilder whose video had inspired her months earlier. Both women had shown her that embracing who you are, even when it's hard, is the key to finding happiness and success. With this mindset, Maya threw herself into training, determined to excel not just for herself but for her team. Every early morning practice, every late-night session, brought her closer to her dream of proving herself on the big stage. Her first meet came sooner than expected. Held at a neighboring high school, the event drew competitors from across the district. As Maya stood on the sidelines waiting for her turn, she felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. The stands were packed with spectators, including her parents, Rachel, and several classmates who had come to cheer her on. When her name was called for the shot put event, Maya stepped forward, gripping the heavy ball with both hands. She blocked out the noise, the chatter of the crowd, the distant echo of footsteps, and focused solely on the task ahead. With a deep breath, she spun and released the ball, watching as it soared through the air and landed with a thud far beyond the mark set by previous competitors. Cheers erupted from the stands, and Maya's heart swelled with pride. She placed second overall in shot put and third in discus throw, an impressive debut for a rookie. After the meet, teammates surrounded her, congratulating her on her performance. Even opponents approached her to compliment her skill and determination. For the first time, Maya felt like a star, not because of her appearance, but because of what she had achieved. Back at school, news of Maya's success spread quickly. Students who once mocked her now looked at her with respect. Teachers praised her for balancing academics and athletics, while administrators invited her to speak at assemblies about perseverance and self-belief. Maya graciously accepted these opportunities, using her platform to encourage others to embrace their differences. "We're all unique in our own ways," she told a room full of wide-eyed students. "Don't let anyone tell you that being different is a bad thing. Your uniqueness is what makes you special." Though Maya reveled in her newfound acceptance, she remained grounded. She knew that popularity wasn't the ultimate goal. It was simply a byproduct of staying true to herself. More importantly, she understood that her journey wasn't just about personal growth. It was about inspiring others to find strength in vulnerability. Whether it was Rachel confiding in her about her insecurities or a shy freshman asking for advice on dealing with bullies, Maya listened with empathy and offered guidance rooted in her own experiences. By the end of the school year, Maya had become a role model, not just for athletes, but for anyone struggling to fit in. Her story served as proof that resilience can overcome adversity, and that embracing who you are is the most powerful act of rebellion against societal norms. Yet Maya knew her journey was far from over. High school awaited her, along with new challenges and opportunities. But armed with her unwavering spirit and the lessons she had learned, she was ready to face whatever lay ahead. As Maya entered her freshman year of high school, she carried with her the lessons and victories of the past year. The bullying that once defined her middle school experience had faded into the background, replaced by a newfound sense of purpose and belonging. Yet high school was a whole new world, a bigger campus, more students, and higher stakes. While Maya felt confident in her abilities as an athlete, she knew navigating this unfamiliar territory would require resilience and adaptability. On her first day, Maya walked through the crowded hallways feeling both excited and nervous. She wore her track and field team jacket proudly, hoping it might shield her from any lingering judgment about her physique. To her relief, people seemed more curious than critical. Some students recognized her from the local meets she had competed in, while others whispered about the strong girl who could throw a shot put farther than anyone else. For once, these comments didn't sting. They were tinged with admiration rather than ridicule. Maya quickly discovered that high school athletics were far more competitive than anything she'd experienced before. Practices were grueling, often lasting late into the evening. Her coach, Mr. Alvarez, pushed her harder than ever, challenging her to refine her technique and increase her strength. Though the workload was intense, Maya thrived under the pressure. Each practice felt like another step toward proving herself, not just to others, but to herself. She wanted to show that her success wasn't a fluke, it was the result of hard work and dedication. One afternoon, after a particularly tough session, Maya collapsed onto the grass beside Jasmine, who had become one of her closest friends. Both girls were drenched in sweat, their chests heaving as they caught their breath. "You know," Jasmine said with a grin, "you've got potential to go pro someday." Maya laughed, brushing off the comment. "Pro? Me? Nah, I'm just here for fun." But deep down, the idea lingered. Could she really take her talent to the next level? The thought both thrilled and terrified her. Despite her growing confidence, Maya still faced moments of doubt. One day during lunch, she overheard a group of girls talking about her. "I heard she spends hours in the gym every day," one of them said. "Isn't that kind of obsessive?" Another chimed in, "Yeah, and have you seen her arms? They're huge." Though their tone wasn't outright malicious, Maya couldn't help but feel a pang of insecurity. Had she gone too far? Was she sacrificing normalcy for something people still didn't fully understand? That night, Maya sat in her room staring at her reflection in the mirror. She flexed her arms, examining the muscles that had become such a defining part of her identity. For so long, she had hated them, wishing she could shrink or hide them. Now they represented everything she had fought for: strength, perseverance, and self-acceptance. Still, the whispers from earlier gnawed at her. Was she obsessing over her body too much? Did she care too much about what others thought? Rachel noticed Maya's quiet mood the next day and pulled her aside after class. "What's wrong?" she asked gently. Maya hesitated, unsure how to articulate her feelings. Finally, she admitted, "Sometimes I wonder if I'm doing all this for the right reasons. Like, am I trying to prove something to everyone else? Or am I doing it for me?" Rachel listened intently before responding. "Maybe it's both," she said. "But does it matter? You're happy when you're working out, right? And you're inspiring people just by being yourself. That's enough." Rachel's words stayed with Maya throughout the week, helping her refocus on why she loved athletics in the first place. It wasn't about validation or silencing critics. It was about pushing her limits and discovering what she was capable. With renewed determination, Maya threw herself into training, setting ambitious goals for the upcoming season. She envisioned standing on podiums, holding trophies, and hearing her name announced over loudspeakers. These dreams fueled her, giving her the motivation to keep going even when the road felt impossibly steep. The turning point came during the district championships, held halfway through her freshman year. Athletes from across the region gathered to compete, each vying for a chance to advance to the state-level competition. Maya felt the weight of expectation pressing down on her shoulders. This wasn't just about personal glory anymore. It was about representing her school and making her teammates proud. As she stepped up to the shot put ring, she reminded herself of Serena's mantra, "Your strength is your power." With a deep breath, Maya gripped the heavy ball and spun with precision, releasing it with explosive force. The crowd erupted as the ball landed well beyond the previous record holder's mark. Maya blinked in disbelief, glancing at the scoreboard. To confirm what she already suspected, she had shattered the district record. Tears welled up in her eyes as her teammates rushed to congratulate her, lifting her onto their shoulders in celebration. For the first time, Maya allowed herself to bask in the moment, letting the cheers wash over her like waves of affirmation. Her performance earned her a spot in the state championships, where she faced even tougher competition. Though she didn't win gold, she placed fourth, an incredible achievement for a freshman. More importantly, she proved to herself that she belonged among the best. The experience solidified her passion for athletics and reignited her ambition to pursue excellence. Back at school, Maya's success elevated her status even further. Students who had once dismissed her now sought her advice on fitness and training. Teachers encouraged her to apply for leadership roles within the athletic department, recognizing her ability to inspire others. Even former bullies approached her apologetically, admitting they had misjudged her. One boy named Tyler, who had been particularly cruel during middle school, stopped her in the hallway one day. "Hey, sorry about all the stuff I said back then," he muttered awkwardly. "You're actually pretty cool." Maya smiled, accepting his apology without bitterness. Forgiveness, she realized, was another form of strength. As the year progressed, Maya began thinking about her future beyond high school. Inspired by her achievements, she started researching colleges with strong athletic programs. She dreamed of earning a scholarship, not only to continue competing but also to study sports medicine. Helping others overcome injuries and achieve their goals appealed to her deeply. It combined her love for athletics with her desire to make a difference. To prepare for college applications, Maya joined the school newspaper, writing articles about the importance of mental health and self-acceptance in sports. Her pieces resonated with readers, earning praise from teachers and peers alike. Through writing, Maya found another outlet for her voice, using her platform to advocate for inclusivity and diversity in athletics. She wrote about the struggles she had faced and how embracing her uniqueness had transformed her life. Her stories inspired countless students to embrace their own differences, whether it was their body type, ethnicity, or interests. By the end of her freshman year, Maya had established herself as a leader both on and off the field. Her journey from a bullied middle schooler to a celebrated athlete had taught her invaluable lessons about resilience, empathy, and courage. Yet she remained humble, knowing that growth never truly ends. There would always be challenges ahead, but Maya welcomed them with open arms. After all, she had learned that true strength lies not in avoiding obstacles, but in facing them head-on and emerging stronger on the other side. As Maya entered her sophomore year of high school, she carried with her not only the confidence gained from her freshman achievements, but also a growing sense of responsibility. She was no longer just an athlete. She had become a role model for younger students and a voice for those who felt marginalized. Her journey had transformed her into someone others looked up to. And while this newfound leadership role filled her with pride, it also brought its own set of challenges. One of the biggest changes in Maya's life was her involvement in mentoring programs at school. Encouraged by her teachers, she began volunteering as a peer counselor, helping students navigate issues ranging from bullying to self-esteem struggles. Many of these students reminded her of herself, quiet, unsure, and desperate to fit in. Maya listened patiently, sharing her own experiences and offering advice rooted in empathy. "You don't have to change who you are to make people like you," she often said. "The right people will love you for being yourself." Her work as a mentor extended beyond one-on-one conversations. Inspired by her articles in the school newspaper, Maya proposed starting a club called Strength Beyond Muscles, aimed at promoting body positivity and mental health awareness. The idea quickly gained traction, attracting members from all grade levels. Meetings were held weekly, where students discussed topics like overcoming insecurities, dealing with online harassment, and finding strength in vulnerability. Maya led discussions with warmth and authenticity, creating a safe space for everyone to share their stories. Despite her growing influence, Maya faced moments of self-doubt. As more people relied on her for guidance, she sometimes wondered if she was qualified to help them. After all, she was still figuring out her own path. These thoughts weighed heavily on her during a particularly tough week when multiple students confided in her about serious issues like depression and eating disorders. One girl, a shy sophomore named Emily, broke down in tears during a meeting, revealing that she hated her body because it didn't look like the model she saw on social media. Maya listened intently, her heart aching for Emily. Though she wanted to offer comforting words, she worried about saying the wrong thing. That night, Maya called Jasmine, her trusted friend and former teammate, seeking advice. "I feel like I'm not doing enough," Maya confessed. "What if I say something that makes things worse?" Jasmine reassured her, reminding her that simply listening and being present could make a world of difference. "You're not expected to fix everything," Jasmine said gently. "Sometimes just knowing someone cares is enough." With Jasmine's words in mind, Maya returned to the club meetings with renewed determination. She encouraged members to focus on small victories, like replacing negative self-talk with affirmations or celebrating progress rather than perfection. Slowly but surely, she saw changes in the students around her. Emily, for instance, started smiling more and even joined the track team, inspired by Maya's example. Seeing others grow gave Maya a profound sense of fulfillment, reinforcing her belief that kindness and understanding could spark meaningful change. Meanwhile, Maya continued excelling in athletics, pushing herself to new heights both physically and mentally. Her sophomore season proved to be her best yet, earning her multiple medals and breaking several school records. But what thrilled her most was the camaraderie she shared with her teammates. Gone were the days when she felt isolated. Now she was part of a tight-knit group that supported and celebrated each other's successes. During meets, Maya cheered loudly for her teammates just as they did for her. Together, they formed a bond built on mutual respect and admiration. Her success caught the attention of college scouts who began attending her competitions to watch her perform. At first, the presence of scouts made Maya nervous, fearing she might disappoint them. But Coach Alvarez reminded her to focus on her game plan rather than external pressures. "Let your talent speak for itself," he told her before a crucial meet. Taking his advice to heart, Maya delivered stellar performances, impressing scouts with her power, technique, and sportsmanship. By the end of the season, she had received letters of interest from several universities, including some of the top athletic programs in the country. While the prospect of playing college sports excited Maya, it also raised questions about her future. Should she prioritize academics or athletics? Could she balance both without burning out? To explore her options, she attended college fairs and met with counselors, gathering information about potential majors and career paths. Sports medicine remained her top choice, but she also considered fields like physical therapy and nutrition, eager to use her knowledge to help others achieve their fitness goals. Amidst her busy schedule, Maya found time to reconnect with Rachel, whose friendship had been a constant source of support throughout her journey. Over milkshakes at their favorite diner, they reminisced about how far Maya had come since middle school. "Remember when you used to hide in your room after gym class?" Rachel teased, laughing. Maya grinned, shaking her head. "Yeah, and now I'm basically a celebrity," she joked. They both laughed, though Maya knew there was truth in Rachel's observation. She had transformed from a timid girl afraid of judgment to a confident young woman unafraid to stand out. However, not everything was smooth sailing. Maya occasionally encountered resistance from people who didn't understand her passion for lifting weights and competing. Some classmates accused her of being too intense or obsessed, while others questioned whether her muscular physique aligned with traditional standards of femininity. Though these comments stung, Maya refused to let them define her. Instead, she channeled her energy into proving that strength comes in many forms, not just physical but emotional and mental as well. Her resilience paid off when she was invited to speak at a regional youth empowerment conference. Standing on stage in front of hundreds of teenagers, Maya shared her story openly and honestly. She talked about the bullying she endured, the doubts she battled, and the moments of triumph that shaped her into the person she was today. "Being different isn't easy," she admitted, "but it's worth it. Your uniqueness is your superpower. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise." Her speech earned a standing ovation, leaving many attendees visibly moved. After the conference, Maya received messages from strangers thanking her for her courage and honesty. One email stood out. A teenage boy wrote about how her story inspired him to embrace his height, which had long been a source of insecurity. Reading his words brought tears to Maya's eyes. She realized that her impact extended far beyond her immediate circle, touching lives she would never meet. By the end of her sophomore year, Maya had cemented her legacy as a trailblazer within her community. Her achievements in athletics, combined with her advocacy work, had made her a symbol of hope and perseverance. Yet she remained grounded, knowing that true greatness lies not in accolades, but in making a positive difference in the world. With 2 years of high school left, Maya looked forward to continuing her journey, one step, one rep, and one act of kindness at a time. As Maya entered her junior year of high school, she found herself at a crossroads. The girl who had once been bullied for her muscular physique was now a celebrated athlete, mentor, and advocate for self-acceptance. Her journey had taken her from the depths of despair to the heights of triumph, but Maya knew that her story was far from over. This year would be pivotal, not just for her future as an athlete or student, but for defining the legacy she wanted to leave behind. The first major milestone came when Maya officially committed to attending a prestigious university on a full athletic scholarship. It was a dream come true, one that validated all the hours she had spent training and competing. But with this achievement came new pressures. College coaches expected her to maintain peak performance throughout her remaining years in high school, while teachers urged her to keep her grades up to secure her spot. Balancing academics and athletics became more challenging than ever, especially as her responsibilities as a leader grew. Maya's role as president of Strength Beyond Muscles kept her busier than ever. The club had expanded significantly, attracting members from neighboring schools and even gaining media attention. Local newspapers featured stories about Maya's advocacy work, highlighting how she used her platform to inspire others. One article described her as a beacon of hope for young people struggling to embrace their differences. While the recognition thrilled her, Maya remained focused on the mission rather than the spotlight. She reminded herself daily that the purpose of her efforts wasn't fame, it was impact. One evening, after a long day of practice and club meetings, Maya sat down with Rachel to reflect on everything that had happened. "Do you ever feel like it's too much?" Rachel asked cautiously. Maya sighed, leaning back in her chair. Sometimes, she admitted. But then I think about all the people counting on me, the kids in the club, my teammates, even strangers, who message me saying they were inspired by something I said. That keeps me going. Rachel nodded thoughtfully. You've done so much already. Don't forget to take care of yourself, too. Her words struck a chord with Maya. In her quest to help others, she often neglected her own needs. She realized that self-care wasn't selfish. It was necessary. From that moment on, Maya made a conscious effort to prioritize rest, whether it meant taking a break from writing articles or skipping a non-essential meeting to spend time with family. Despite her best intentions, Maya faced unexpected challenges during her junior season. A minor injury, a strained shoulder, forced her to sit out several competitions. For someone as driven as Maya, being sidelined felt agonizing. She watched her teammates compete, cheering them on from the sidelines, but inside, she wrestled with frustration and doubt. Was she letting her team down? Would college scouts reconsider their offers if she couldn't perform at her usual level? Coach Alvarez noticed Maya's distress and pulled her aside one afternoon. Injuries are part of the game, he said firmly yet kindly. What matters is how you handle them. Use this time to heal, both physically and mentally. You'll come back stronger. His advice resonated deeply with Maya, reminding her that setbacks were temporary. With physical therapy and patience, she gradually regained her strength, returning to the field just in time for the state championships. When the day of the championship arrived, Maya stepped onto the track with a mix of excitement and nerves. This was her last chance to prove herself before graduating to collegiate athletics. As she prepared for the shot put event, she closed her eyes and visualized every step of her technique. When her name was called, she stepped forward with confidence, gripping the heavy ball tightly. With a powerful spin and release, she hurled it across the field, breaking her own personal record and securing first place. The crowd erupted in cheers, and Maya felt a wave of relief wash over her. She had done it, not just for herself, but for everyone who believed in her. Her victory at the state championships marked the culmination of years of hard work and perseverance. But Maya's achievements extended far beyond trophies and accolades. Through her advocacy work, she had touched countless lives, inspiring others to embrace their uniqueness and find strength in vulnerability. Students from her club wrote heartfelt letters thanking her for changing their perspectives on body image and self-worth. Teachers praised her leadership skills, calling her a natural-born motivator. Even former bullies reached out to express regret, acknowledging how wrong they had been. With senior year approaching, Maya began thinking about the legacy she wanted to leave behind. She envisioned expanding Strength Beyond Muscles into a nationwide initiative, connecting students from different schools and communities. She dreamed of partnering with organizations focused on mental health and body positivity, amplifying her message on a larger scale. Though these aspirations seemed ambitious, Maya trusted that her determination and resilience would carry her through. Her final months of high school passed in a blur of celebrations and farewells. At graduation, Maya delivered a stirring speech that left many in tears. We're told to fit in, to conform, to hide parts of ourselves that make us different, she said, her voice steady and strong. But I'm here to tell you that your differences are your greatest strengths. Embrace them. Celebrate them. Let them guide you toward greatness. As she walked off the stage to thunderous applause, Maya felt a profound sense of closure. She had come full circle, from a bullied middle schooler to a trailblazer paving the way for future generations. College brought new adventures and challenges, but Maya approached them with the same grit and grace that had defined her high school years. She excelled in her studies, balancing rigorous coursework with demanding training schedules. Off the field, she continued advocating for body positivity, using her social media platforms to reach wider audiences. Her posts went viral, sparking conversations about diversity in sports and the importance of representation. Years later, as a successful sports medicine professional, Maya looked back on her journey with gratitude. She remembered the pain of being teased, the fear of standing out, and the courage it took to rise above it all. Those experiences had shaped her into the person she was today, someone unafraid to challenge norms and champion causes close to her heart. Whenever she encountered young athletes struggling with self-doubt, she shared her story, reminding them that their worth wasn't determined by society's standards. Maya's life became a testament to the power of resilience and authenticity. By embracing her uniqueness, she not only transformed her own destiny but also inspired others to do the same. Her journey proved that strength isn't just about muscles or medals. It's about having the courage to be yourself, no matter what, the world says. And in doing so, Maya showed the world that true strength lies in the heart.